Problem A says 5 feet equals blank inches. So they measured something, but they measured it in feet. Made a mistake. Whatever they measured, they want it in inches. I'm going to go ahead and fix it for them. The first box says equivalent measure. Equivalent measure is something that's going to be very useful whenever we have to convert. Equivalent measure is what we find on that chart, that math chart. If I look on that math chart, I'd look under length, I'd look under customary, and on that chart, it would tell me that 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 foot equals 12 inches. Which is pretty good to know. The only problem is I don't just have 1 foot. Whatever I measured, whatever they measured, 5 feet, not 1. So what is my plan? My plan is to go from feet to inches, to change this from feet into inches. I'm going to show you how we do that. So I'm going to write them kind of like a fraction. Okay? Sort of like a fraction. We have 1 foot. Put that on top. 12 inches. Put on the bottom. One foot and 12 inches. On this other side of the box, notice how I left this just to one side? This is what I want. I don't have 1 foot. It was 5 feet. I'm going to make sure that I keep the feet on the top. 5 feet. But I don't know the inches. They didn't tell me. Whenever you convert from one unit to the other, you have to make sure that you're being fair. Equal, that you're being even. What are the two operations that are fair, that are equal, that are even? If they were in a number sentence, or if they were in a word problem, they would use words like each and every and per. What are those two operations that would keep everything equal and even? So that I know that each foot is the same as the next. What are those two operations? There's only 4 of them. We have 4 operations that we use: addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. But only 2 of those operations are always even, equal. What are the 2 that are always equal and even? Kaylee?
Addition and subtraction.
Addition and subtraction are not always equal. I can have 4 plus 1. Those two numbers aren't equal, are they? I can do 5 minus 3. Those two numbers aren't equal. When I read a word problem and I see words like each and every and per, what are the two operations I told you all need to start thinking of? You're reading a word problem and they say each or every or per. Violet, what were those two operations?
Multiplication and division.
Multiplication and division. Because if you're multiplying, you're doing 3 plus 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 3, however many times. And if you're doing division, we know that we're being equal and even when we split them into however many groups we use. Whenever you're converting, you don't use addition or subtraction because they don't have to be equal. They don't have to be even. But addition, or sorry, not addition, but multiplication and division have to be. So I know that I'm going to use multiplication to change my number. If I change the 1 into a 5, how could I do that? Jadine?
Mister, I don't get this. My computer lost connection.
That's okay. We didn't do too much just yet.
Okay. I don't know how to turn the 5 into the 1.
Well, we said we're using multiplication, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Jadine, we had a 1, right? 1 foot.
Yes?
But we want 5 feet. So I need 1 times something that would make 5.
1 times 5.
1 times 5 would be 5, right?
Yes, because anything times 1 equals 5.
Well, anything times 1 stays the same. So
Well,
5 times 1 would stay 5. Haley, make sure we're focused. Again, I have to be equal. I have to be even. So if I change the 1 into a 5 by multiplying times 5, if I'm going to be equal, if I'm going to be even, I'm going to have to multiply the 12 times 5. That way both the feet and the inches are treated the exact same. And that will help me find my answer. So my number sentence, 12 times 5. Now if I wanted to solve this, I could really just use my 5 song. Or, I mean, we don't really have a 5 song, but we know how to count by our 5s. So if I was counting by 5s, and I got to 12, 12 times 5, what would I get? What is 12 times 5? Christopher? What would that be, Christopher?
12 times 5?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 60?
Very good, Christopher. 60. 12 times 5 would be 60. And I have to remember, since I'm converting, since I'm changing, it's not in feet anymore. So it's not 60 feet, it's 60 inches. So my answer, 5 feet equals 60 inches. Make sure we have our math papers, Brianna. Make sure we're paying attention. So whenever you're converting, it's all about being even and being equal. If you're not being equal, if you're not being even, you're not going to end up with the correct answer.